Good morning, students. Welcome to my class. Well, today we are going to learn about chapter number 1 of your sociology book, which is Demographic Structure of India. And our topic is Malthusian Theory of Population Growth. So, first of all, let's know about Robert Thomas Malthus, the propounder of this theory. Robert Thomas Malthus was a political economist, which means that his findings and theories are concerned with both politics and economy. Now about Malthusian growth model. As we know that, I have already told you that this theory was propounded by Malthus, Robert Thomas Malthus. What he says in his theory, he says in a population there are two things that matter: people and means of subsistence, which is particularly the land. So, Robert Thomas Malthus once has said that the humanity has always condemned to, poverty because the population growth is going to grow at a much faster pace. So here, Malthusian growth model says that the people, which means population, grows in a geometrical progression, which means that at much faster pace than the growth of the land. Now, means of subsistence, which is particularly the land grows in a arithmetic progression, which means much slower than the rate of the growth of the population. So it's a very crucial phenomenon because what Malthus is trying to say is that if the rate of the growth of population is much faster than the rate of the growth of the land, it will create a disastrous effect. So that's why he came up with two methods, two checks, to prevent this sort of changes. So his two suggestive measures were positive checks and preventive checks. In preventive checks, he talks about some natural disasters, such like volcanic eruption, and floods, and so on. So that's why he says that if human beings are not going to take care of themselves, nature will take care of them. So another checks are preventive checks, which are mostly man-made checks. Late marriage, celibacy, and also some contraceptive methods. Students, as you know that every theory is bound to criticism. So that's why Malthusian theory of population growth has also been criticized by some of the scholars. It has been criticized as the standard of living and growth of the land continue to develop. And second, some of the communists criticize this theory as the poverty is not due to the slow rate of the growth of the land, but due to the inequality in the distribution of the natural resources. So that's all about Malthusian theory of population growth. So students, let's revise what we have learned today. Our topic is Malthusian theory of population growth, which was propounded by Robert Thomas Malthus, who was a political economist. And this theory is also known as Malthusian growth model. And in this theory, two things matter: people and means of subsistence. People generally means population, and means of subsistence, particularly the land. So, Robert Thomas Malthus says that geometrical progression is concerned with people and arithmetic progression is concerned with means of subsistence. What he's trying to say is that the rate of the growth of population is much faster than the rate of the growth of the land. And also, he came up with two checks. The first is positive check and the second is preventive check. In positive check, he talks about some natural disasters, and in preventive checks, he talks about some man-made disaster and also criticism that I have already told you. Let's summarize this whole chapter through Smart Class. Let's go then.
Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about the Malthusian theory of population by Robert Malthus. So introduction we have. First we have that Robert Malthus propounded this theory in his book Essays in the Principles of Population. So he was the first one who gave this theory. So this is a pessimist theory. here we read that if there is an increase in population, then what will be its effect on society, and also that it can destroy human habitation. So here he tried to show some negative effects of the population growth. Malthus's father was an optimist who considered population as a boon, but unlike his father, he considered it as a bane, as he was a pessimist. So according to Malthus, pressure of increasing population on the food supply would destroy the balance and there would be misery in the world. So for this he travelled throughout Europe to support this theory, and he incorporated his viewpoint in the second edition of the same book. So we should move on to the theory. So here we have the postulations or the assumptions of the theory. The first assumption is food is essential for man's existence. That is, there is no alternative for food. Next we have the passion between the sexes is essential and it will merely remain in its present state. Third, the law of diminishing returns operates in agriculture. So I need to explain this. So law of diminishing returns says that there is a point at which the level of profits or benefits gained is less than the amount of money or energy invested. So this logic works with agriculture. Next we have deductions of the theory, that is what we already knew about the theory. So first one is the power of population is definitely greater than the power of earth to produce food for man. So and if the increase in population is unchecked by the preventive checks, which we will discuss later what are preventive checks, it would lead to a vice or misery. So next we have Malthusian doctrine. The theory is based on two doctrines. So Robert Malthus took two doctrines as the base of his theory. So first one is population. So there is natural sex instinct in human beings to increase at a faster rate. Population increases in geometrical progression, and if unchecked, it would double itself in every 25 years. So if we start from 1, then in next 25 years, it will become 4. In another, it will become 8, then 16, then 32, then 64, and then so on. So next doctrine is food supply. So food supply increases in low arithmetic progression due to operation of law of diminishing returns in agriculture. Thus food supply in the same time frame of 25 years will be, if we start from 1, then it will be 2, then 3, then next in 25 years it will be 4, in next 25 years it will be 5, and so on. So comparatively, food supply increases at a slower pace. So the relationship between food supply and population is explained with the help of a graph, which we will discuss in the next video.
So thank you students for watching this lecture, and I hope this lecture will help you out. So all the very best.